Mark Ridgway, the yellow mean machine from pole position. Alistair Brown on his outside. Gary Thompson moves up into that second position. Here comes the supercars.
Yeah, been led there by Andrew Moffat. Then Fenner is in second. I'm watching that 31 car that's at the tail end of the field. He's not going to want to stick around there too long. It's Moffat that sits out in P1. Fenner second. Then Nazreen Schloss. Is she still third? Yes, she is still third. Then it's Shane Moscow. Just catching a glimpse there of Hallick coming through as the V8s run through Lundstrom Kink and into Damps.
Gary Thompson holding on to that second position in there behind Mark Ridgway. Alistair Brown in back down into third. Then the two Parsons, Menno and Ian, doing a bit of side-by-side stuff, but everybody gets through safely.
Right, that is the V8s. Just behind the V8s, there is your leading supercar. Heading down the back straight, it's Andrew Moffat sitting out there in P1. Moffat sits there in P1. Oh, and on the dirt, is that Boscombe? It may just be Boscombe. Watch out for the 31 car of Kyle Hallick. He is really beginning to move through the field, and if he can't get in P1 or P2, he wants to come through into that third position as the V8s work their way into turn one.
Mark Ridgway and Alistair Brown is on that outside line. Gary Thompson on the inside. Thompson works his way through. Sean Moore is right in there as well. Well, I tell you what, this pack is still very tight. Three gold class runners in Mark Ridgway, Alistair Brown and Gary Thompson at the front. Ian Parsons, the first of the silver runners from Menno Parsons, and then Stuart Spooner.
Right, the supercars are heading towards Castrol Corner, and we'll pick them up now for you as they go into Castrol Corner, being led there by Andrew Moffat. Moffat will lead them through Castrol Corner. Then we'll have, he's gone, no, he hasn't gone to second yet. That is still Fenner that sits in that second position, followed there by Nazreen Schloss. Through the kink they come. There we go. There's Moffat. There's Fenner. There is Schloss behind Fenner. And then behind that, you've got Rob de Vos. Robin de Vos is making his way through as well as the V8s head into turn number 5. Fostrot.
Running that one very, very wide as they came through there. Once again, side by side as they work their way through out of turn 5. So very, very tight. Mark Ridgway starting to get just a little bit of a gap. You see, remember, he started in pole position. Alistair Brown, Sean Moore is up into that third. And then that's side by side, Ian Parsons and Menno Parsons. The fight behind that being Gary Thompson and Stuart Spooner. Coming into view now underneath the city of Cape Town and Lime Properties Bridge, the leader of the supercars.
Yeah, that's Andrew Moffat sitting out there in P1. He's got a sizable lead in this fight with Fenner that's there in that second spot. Then it's Nash. Behind them, it's Rob de Vos. Behind Robin de Vos, we've got Kyle Hallick. There's de Vos coming through, and that fourth car coming into your screen there, that's the 31 car of Kyle Hallick that's busy working his way through. He hasn't really made that much indent. He's gone past 3 cars as we watch. Nazreen says, come on, you want to play, Bradley Fenner? Let's play, as the man in the class that leads is the 39 of race leader in that class, Moffat.
This is surely Nazreen's best ever in terms of placings. She's working her way up towards the front end of the field.
Yeah, and she's got a teammate not behind her, but the second car of those 3, or the third one I should say, is Robin de Vos as the V8s head into holes.
Mark Ridgway from Alistair Brown, Sean Moore, Menno Parsons, and Gary Thompson has got now past, dropping down. He's the second of the Parsons, Ian Parsons, and something must have happened to him because he has dropped down on the menu.
Right, so we've got a trouble there in Castrol Corner. One of the V8s has spun out there in Castrol. However, we focus going into one, the leader of supercars, that's Moffat heading into turn number 1. Here he comes into Holzoek. And then Nazreen Schloss, well done. Bradley Fenner, right there with Fenner is Rob de Vos. And now right on Rob's case is Kyle Hallick in that 31 car. That's a group of 4 cars fighting it out for second, third, fourth and fifth in the supercars as the leader disappears out of your screen, Andrew Moffat.
I tend to think that Kyle Hallick might be a surprised at the pace of the others. If you look at the first and second races of the season, you would expect Kyle to be able to pull away from this group. It's not the case. He's stuck in the middle.
Well, that's what I said. He'd be fancying first, second, or third, and he's not. He's sitting in P5, as a matter of fact, in the supercar category, and that's not where Kyle wants to be right now.
No doubt about it, as they work their way through solid sleep. And we'll pick up the V8s. There's our leader, Mark Ridgway. Sean Moore holding sway. A reasonable gap behind him to Menno Parsons. Gary Thompson tries to have a look around the outside. Ruby Campos now coming into the game as well, with Stuart Spooner and Ian Parsons. Josh Vogt. And then we see George Evans coming through there behind that.
So leader of us, there is smoke coming out. I think that might be body rubbing against tyre of race leader in the supercars. Yeah, there's a lot of smoke pumping out there. I think the tyre and the bodywork is rubbing against each other, and he may just lose out big time, because here comes this group of supercars behind him. We've got one V8 that's stuck in there, and then the rest of the supercars.
Battle Royal going down into Pertamina Fastron, led out by the 65 as they work their way out into the front main. So not a lot of space between these guys after so many laps. There's just 4 more to go, and they're still sitting right on top of one another.
Well, heading into turn number 4 to Sidle Sweep, we've got second, third, fourth, and fifth in the supercars. There is a lost V8, and there 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the supercars. Leading them is Moffat, then it's Slosh, then it is Fenner, then it's the Foss, and then it's Haddock down the back straight. When last have we seen the supercars so close to each other? The first 5, there's not much. They're going to catch Moffat. Moffat, that tyre and the bodywork is wearing itself down, and they're going to catch the leader or the rest of the supercars. 2, 3, 4, and 5. They have caught the leader, as you can see on screen.
Well, it's going to go another 4 laps for that smoking right there in front. How long can that tyre still last? You can see the bodywork is flapping as they go down. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to this one. It's getting very tight. I tell you what, Supercars is a spectacle of note today at Kaltron International Raceway. Round number 3 of the regional series, brought to you by Line Property Management.
He's going to drive it and either win it or drive it till that wheel pops, or should I say the tyre pops. Remember, that was contact that was made between himself and Glenn Phillips in race number 1. And now Moffat is paying the price through the Lundstem King. They come. Moffat is praying for the checkered flag. He's got 2.5 laps to go, and Fenner was looking up on the inside of the Foss. Fenner was searching around up the inside of Rob the Foss, but the Foss held that position. And he's Nazarene that still sits there in that second position from Fenner, the Foss, and Hallick.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a brilliant battle. Probably one of the best that we've seen for a long, long time in terms of supercars. There's literally 5 of them working their way down the back main, and it looks like there is just about a change-up. No, still holding on. Can Nashreen be the first probable lady ever to win a supercar race?
I don't think she's ever won a supercar race yet.
I don't think a lady has ever won a supercar
race. This is the best opportunity she's ever going to have. She will be over the moon. She's moving up to the inside. Is she going for the lead? Into turn number 1, into holes. Is she going to get the lead? No! Man, Moffat says no. As the overall leader heads into turn 1 in the V8s, that is Mark Ridgway.
Well, the problem is, Frankie, with 2 to go, is Mark Ridgway going to come up onto the back end of this battle? Is that going to affect the battle? He can't afford, if he gets to them too quickly, to just sit behind them like what we saw in the Formula Liberty race earlier on. He's going to have to keep on trucking, otherwise he's going to have short work that's going to close up on him, and this with just 1.5 laps to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, these guys are giving Moffat the run for his money. He knows he's got a lap and a bit to do. He's praying that that tyre does not explode on him, because that will cost him everything. and he is fighting for life. He's fighting for survival. He leads a group of 5 supercars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in class, and behind them, he's your overall race leader in the V8s, and as I said, overall, Mark Ridgway in the V8.
And Nashreen goes to the front. Nashreen Slosh has gone to the... No, she hasn't! Oh, being blocked off. Now they're going side by side. It's oopsie over the top of the... and yet, this Mark Ridgway is forcing his way through. He's got to keep on trucking because Sean Moore is closing and Sean Moore is closing fast. These supercar drivers are not interested in what's happening with the V8s. Well, it looks like he will get to the front of that group in time, but look how close it is now because all of a sudden Sean Moore with Mark Ridgway being the gentleman, oopsie, and then is that Nashreen that's gone off as well.
It had to happen sometime. That is probably Nash and Moffat that has made contact there going into turn 1 on the final lap. You wouldn't believe it. The bad luck out there. So that has changed the whole face. Oh, and a big off in Castle Corner. Pirouetting V8 Master. There's 2 cars off there. One is a V8. The other one is a supercar that's rejoining again. But wow. That all happened very, very quickly.
It's been total mayhem and chaos out there, but it's been utterly brilliant stuff as our leader works his way down the Killarney back straight, down towards Pertamina fast track, very, very close between first and second, purely because of that traffic that they had. Mark Ridgway's made no errors. He did it all right. He got through the supercars without damaging anybody, and he comes through for a victory.
Yep, with Sean Moore finishing in second. Campos, here he comes towards us now. Campos, then he's Roy Campos. Menno Parsons crosses the line as well. Does Menno Parsons. Gary Spooner crosses the line.
And Kyle Hallick, having been lapped with Nashreen going off at the front, taking the 2 front cars out, all of a sudden Kyle Hallick takes the win, and he was at the back of the pack of 5.
Yeah. And Bradley Fenner, that was in the top 3 all the time, eventually finishes in second because remember Moffat and Schloss took each other out. That means Robin de Vos will end ahead of Moffat, ahead of Schloss, followed there by Leon Chetty. That is in the supercars. In the V8s, Mark Ridgway, Sean Moore, Roy Campos, Menno Parsons, Gary Thompson and Stuart Spooner.